Hi everyone, I'm Sabrina with Thrive Life, and I am really excited to show you two of the recipes actually from our new intro pack that comes with recipes in it. And here is what we will be making. So this intro pack comes with 10 different Thrive Life products. You can see some of the cans here that we'll be using in the recipe here today. And then along with a couple that we're not using. And then it comes with 7 recipes, and they are delicious, and I've just been so excited about it that I want to show it with you all. So what we're going to make today is the tortilla soup with the corn and cheddar biscuits. It is delicious, and the recipe card comes like this with a list of the ingredients that you'll need from your Thrive intro pack, along with some common ingredients that you would have in your house, like milk and cheese and butter and garlic. So, and then on the back of this, you have step-by-step instructions on how to make these recipes, and that is what I'm going to show you today, so that you will feel comfortable making this recipe on your own. So let's get started. So we're going to start first with the tortilla soup. And all I'm doing right now first is melting my butter. And as soon as this is melted, we're going to go ahead and throw in some fresh garlic that I have all measured out and ready to go. We're going to go ahead and just saute that up for a little bit. Let the garlic toast. Nothing is better than the smell of garlic toasting in butter. There's just nothing better. So here we have our toasted garlic and butter. So now I'm going to start just adding in the ingredients for the tortilla soup and let it kind of toast in the garlicky butter. So first we've got our freeze-dried chicken slices and our red bell peppers, our onion slices, green chili peppers. This is one of my favorite staples in my kitchen. Our instant black beans that only take about 20 minutes to cook up. And our corn. So all of those ingredients that I just showed you all come in the intro pack in these lovely little cans. And we're going to just toast it here for a minute. Now you don't want it to toast for super long, or you're going to end up with a lovely burned flavor that you don't want. But we want it just to toast and pick up some of that yummy garlicky flavor just for a minute to kind of saute it. And then we're going to go ahead and add a can of diced tomatoes. This is pretty common in people's pantries. We do also have freeze-dried tomato dices that you can use as well. And our spices. We've got our cumin, chili powder, and Chef's Choice all-purpose seasoning. Throw that in there. And then all I need to do is pour in 8 cups of water and just let this simmer for about 20 minutes. So while this is simmering, I'm going to start making the biscuits that are going to go with this soup. So this just needs to sit here and simmer. Basically, all we're waiting for with this food is the black beans to soak up the water, and also the chicken. Everything else really soaks up the water very quickly, and so we just need to give it some time to do that. So I'm going to cover it up here. One of the other things that you can do with this recipe is to take all those ingredients that I had in the bowls and just pre-measure them all into a mason jar to make like an instant meal in a jar. And that is actually one of my favorite ways to cook with Thrive Life, is to have instant meals in a jar. I've got all sorts of recipes that I do that with. And then when I have those meals in a jar ready to go, I use them for taking on camping trips, take it on vacation and cook in the hotel, cook it at home when I'm short on time. I give it as gifts to friends all the time, friends that are sick or have a new baby or moving or whatever the circumstances are. Everybody needs a quick and easy meal, and so I love having those ingredients all ready to go, so all I have to do is add water. So what we have here is our freeze-dried non-GMO corn, our green chili peppers, and onion slices. And what I'm going to do here is smash it up. You can put these in a Ziploc bag and just smash it in a bag, but I've got a handy little smasher tool, so I'm going to just smash it with a spoon here. Just want to break it up into nice little crumbs. Okay, so I've got it smashed into smaller chunks there. And next I'm going to take some milk and add some lemon juice and let it just sit let the lemon juice sit there and react with the milk for just a minute. And while that's sitting, what I have here is our flour, baking soda, Chef's Choice all-purpose seasoning again, and garlic powder. I'm going to just stir these together here for a minute. So this is ready to go. And now I'm going to take our chopped up vegetables and I'm going to add it to the milk. Stir that together. And just let it rest for a minute. I'm going to be adding to this recipe some shredded cheese. We also have freeze-dried shredded cheese, which happens to be one of my absolute favorites. That's what sold me on Thrive many years ago, was their freeze-dried cheese. And for this recipe, since everybody usually has cheese in their kitchens, you can just use your cheese from your refrigerator or our Thrive Life cheese. And then we've got melted butter. So all we're going to do here now is just pour it all together. The milk with the peppers and onions and everything. And then I'm going to add the cheese and some melted butter here. I'm going to stir this together. Okay, so here we go with our biscuits. Plop them on here. So I'm going to pop these into the oven real quick. While those are cooking, I just want to tell you one of the ways that I love using the food from Thrive Life is by smashing it into a powder, just like you saw me do, putting it into those biscuits. There are so many fun things you can do with this. I love blending the fruit into a powder and making it into a really, really yummy frosting for sugar cookies or brownies or cupcakes. It's beautiful color. I can get really rich purple or pink color without using any food coloring. And the flavor is just unreal. You will never go back to plain frosting after you've had this fruity frosting. I also like to make frosting, other kind of spreads. You can make you can grind up the onions and peppers and mix it with like a mayonnaise or cream cheese or something like that and make it as a spread for bagels. You can also blend the food into a powder if you have a baby who needs baby food. Then you can just have this powdered vegetable ready to go and you can make different combinations. And then just rehydrate just a little bit at a time as your baby eats it, instead of using half of a jar and letting half of it go to waste. So I just love doing that. The other thing you can do is if you have picky eaters in your family. I know I have kids that are not very open-minded about some vegetables, but when I blend it into a powder and slip it into a casserole or a soup, guess what? They don't know it's there and they cannot pick it out. So I love doing that. What I love about this, this intro pack with these recipes is that it just takes away the question of what's for dinner. When you have one of those nights when you just absolutely have no time to think of cooking a meal, but you don't necessarily want to go out anywhere. I know that there is a growing popularity with the meal delivery services where you can pick a recipe that you like, and they'll ship you all of the ingredients to make that recipe. The problem with that is that this recipe shows up on your doorstep, and if you had other plans for dinner that night or the next night, then you've got a problem because those ingredients go bad within a couple of days. The other problem with it is that you still have to go through all of the prep time of chopping vegetables, cutting up meat, cooking the meat, and so really the only step that it takes away from you is maybe going to the grocery store. So with this Taste of Thrive intro pack, you have the recipe on your doorstep, you have the ingredients on your doorstep, but the ingredients aren't going to go bad today or tomorrow or next week or even next month, so you can have that recipe ready for you whenever you need it. The vegetables are already chopped up and ready to use in your recipes, and so you literally can just throw together a meal like I have here, get it all started on the stove, walk away, do your dishes, start a load of laundry, do what other things you need to do, and come back and you'll have dinner ready to go. It's just that easy, and I love it. Okay, so we're just about done here, waiting for our soup to cook here. It's been simmering for about 15 or 20 minutes, and now we just have a couple of last-minute touches to add to this. We're going to add in our velouté sauce mix. I really love this stuff because you don't have to worry about it getting all weird and clumpy like you would with normally if you added flour or something like that, or cornstarch to a soup when it's already hot. This just mixes and dissolves perfectly into whatever you make it. It adds just that little extra bit of thickening and flavor that's so nice. And I have really come to love all of our sauce mixes, our velouté, our espagnole, our white sauce mix, because I can add just that little extra thickening and flavor for any sauce or soup that I make. So there's our velouté, and then we've got some, I just took some corn tortillas and cut them up into little pieces. I'm going to add that to it. I've actually made this recipe without the tortilla strips, and it was okay that way too, just not quite as thick. And I've got some lime juice and some cilantro. So you can use fresh cilantro, or in my case I like using freeze-dried cilantro because I'm lazy and I don't like to chop cilantro. And so we're going to just let that sit for just a minute, thicken up for a minute, and let's go see how our biscuits are doing. Look at these beauties. Aren't they beautiful? Our soup should be, oh, it's getting nice and thick and delicious. And our biscuits are ready, so we'll go ahead and serve it up here. And a beautiful biscuit to go on the side. And I just have to tell you, I made this recipe for my family last week, and my kids were raving about it. My 7-year-old son told me that this recipe was so good, it tasted like a fancy restaurant, and he wonders why we can't make this recipe more often. So those are straight from the mouth of a 7-year-old fan of Thrive Life. One thing that I'd like to mention here too is, while this recipe makes a ton, which is fantastic for someone like me with lots of kids, you can also cut this recipe in half or in fourths if you're an empty nester and you want just a little bit. And then the nice thing is that those ingredients are not going to go bad, whatever you didn't use, and you can make the recipe again next week or next month, whenever you want to. And the other thing that I really like about this pack with all these ingredients is that you've got enough to make all 7 of these recipes, but you're also going to have leftovers. You'll have leftover green chili peppers and corn that you can use in any other recipes that you might want to cook up for yourself without these recipes here. So thanks for watching. I hope that you will enjoy the intro pack. If you're wondering how to get this for yourself, it is super, super easy. All you do is load it into your queue shipment for your first order, or if you've already been on the queue for a while, you can just load it in there. The queue is a wonderful program that is a customizable monthly shipment program where you can set your budget and you can pick out whatever you have shipped to your house each month. So you can have this intro pack come for your first shipment, and then next month, if you really loved the green chili peppers and the red bell peppers, you can just order a couple more cans of those, or you can order from our exclusive 30% off discount that is offered to people who start their shipping budget at $100 or higher. There's no long-term commitment, and it's just a wonderful, easy way to get groceries to your door. All right, have a great week, and thanks for watching.